Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bring you our NFL Week 10 preview between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Now let's look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Falcons.
When I look at the Falcons on offense, I look at a multifaceted attack that does a great job of dictating tempo and dictating the pace of the game. Now, going against the New Orleans Saints defense, what they will have to do is attack the flats and off tackle. You attack the flats in the passing game, getting the football in the hands of Ryder White very quickly, allow him to make one miss. He's a very strong runner after the catch, as well as Julio Jones. And in the running game, running off tackle is the Saints' weakness, and that's where Michael Turner and Jaquiz Rodgers can also have some success. Now, they're going to go in 3 and 4 wide receiver set, which will widen out that Saints defense and allow them to attack the individual matchups. Now, defensively, you look at Asante Samuel, as talented as he is, making plays on the football and also in coverage, he's going to get targeted by Drew Brees in that passing offense because he has the propensity to look in the backfield, jump routes, and is susceptible to double moves. So he's going to have to play an outstanding game and remain disciplined in his actions. And William Moore, again, being on the interior, having to cover Jimmy Graham and in some cases Marcus Colston. So William Moore, once again, just like he was last week, will be a vital part of this Falcons pass defense. And up front, Ray Edwards, John Abraham, those guys will have to play with some controlled aggressiveness this week. You got to make sure you stop the run. Run discipline first. I'm pretty sure the Saints will try to get back to a balanced offense just like they were last season. Moving over to New Orleans in this ball game, and what you saw from the Saints last week was a return to a well-balanced offensive attack. Mark Ingram, Chris Ivory, and Pierre Thomas had solid days running the football, and that plays right into the strength of the Saints. They can run the football against anybody, and it also plays into the weakness of the Atlanta Falcons. On the interior, they struggle stopping the run, so look for more of the same game plan in the running game department that you saw last week versus the Eagles, this week versus the Falcons. And Lance Moore also has to play a vital role because of the fact that he is Mr. Third Down for that Saints offense. Quiley has become one of the best possession receivers in the NFC. Now, on the defensive side of the football, the return of Joe Vitt brought something back to the Saints defense. It brought back that aggressiveness, that nastiness they got after the quarterback because they sent extra. You have to send extra this week versus Matt Ryan. He's not Michael Vick, but if you allow him time in the pocket, he will do a lot of damage. And once again, Roman Harper closer to the line of scrimmage is a more effective Roman Harper. So look for this week as the Saints try to match up versus that Falcons 3 and 4 wide receiver sets. You're going to see a lot of nickel. You're going to see a lot of 4-2-5. So you're going to see a lot of Roman Harper closer to the line of scrimmage, which makes him more effective in blitzing and also that short to intermediate pass coverage. And on the flanks, you got to be honest, Jabari Greer, Patrick Robinson, Johnny Patrick, those guys need huge games versus the Falcons wide receivers. The X factor in this ball game for the Atlanta Falcons will be the offensive tempo. Once you find an individual matchup that you like, stay in that same personnel, go no huddle, and keep that pace going. That puts you in a better position to be successful. And for the Saints, the outside linebackers is key. You cannot allow the Falcons gain the outside in the running game like the Eagles were able to do. Otherwise, your defense will be put in bad situations. Let's look at the personnel breakdown in this ball game, and you see the Saints have the advantage in running the football. The Falcons will be without Sean Witherspoon. Again, that's an advantage for the Saints, but for the Falcons, they have the advantage in the secondary, matching up versus the Saints wide receivers. So you look at strength versus strength. This should be a great game no matter what. I'm going with the Falcons in this ball game. I like what Atlanta brings to the table offensively, and as well as the Saints defense played last week versus the Eagles, an inspired defense and aggressive, the Eagles still were able to move the football up and down the field against New Orleans, and I think the Falcons convert those opportunities into touchdowns, so I think the Falcons go into the Superdome and come away with the victory. I also want to give a huge shout out to Falcon fan forums and Saint fan forums for always showing football game plan support.